Guys, you are talking to Ree, where I come to talk to you about what I have either read in the blogs, watched on TV, or heard in these streets. Today, it is about what I have watched on TV. We are talking about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 13. Guys, we are near the end of this season. Can you believe it? We are near. We're so near. So this was a decent episode. So we got a little bit to talk about. Not much. I'm going to try to keep it as nice and as cute as possible, but we'll see. If you like anything that you hear, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please come back for more. Yes, I love to do recaps. For those that are new here, my name is Ree. I do a little bit of recaps. I also do a little bit of talk on what's in the blogs or what's on the news, like things that are just interesting. I haven't been doing some of those lately. I've been focused on these recaps because I've been busy in other areas, but I will get back to that soon. Guys, we're going to grow this channel together. I love the feedback I've been receiving from all of you guys. Keep them coming. I want to hear your thoughts. Good, bad, or indifferent. I want to hear from you. So make sure you stick around, hit that subscribe button, come back for more. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get some of the couples that gave us nothing out of the way. For those that don't know me, I like to get straight to the point, okay, with each of these people. We are not going to spend, hours, diving in too deeply with each of them. No. So let's get Nicole and Mahmoud out of the way. Mahmoud meets with his brother. He has decided that he is going to give it a chance on moving to the U.S. The end. Like, really, that's what happened. The end. He decided that he was going to give us a little chance or so forth. He's like, listen, I'm Muslim here. I'll be Muslim out there as well. And his brother was like, you may have a little bit of a hard time with that, considering that she was giving you pushback even here regarding, conforming to Muslim traditions and so forth. And he's just like, well, we'll see. But I got to give it a chance in order to go and get my wife back. Okay, there's that. We move on. Let's get to Isabella and Gabriel. Guys, Gabriel is an instigator. Gabriel is a huge instigator. So here's the thing. We go to pick up his sister and his mom, right? We pick up Monica and the mom and Monica's boyfriend from the airport. They have now all arrived in Colombia. All right. Monica meets with Isabel, and Isabel was actually very warm, like usual. She's very much of a warm girl. And the mother was receiving to her and so forth, even though she doesn't speak English, right? Now, Monica, disrespectful behind, goes and says, you don't speak a lick of English, not even a little bit. Girl, no. And you know why? Because she doesn't have to, because she's in her country and she has no plan on leaving this country. Okay? So she doesn't have to know English. She doesn't have to. She's in Colombia, her native land, where the native language there is what? Spanish. The end, girl. It was very ignorant of you to say that. It was very awkward to say it. Monica has been very awkward this whole episode. Very much of a negative person, which I'm just like, And so she thinks that her and Gabriel are best friends. Gabriel is just like, you know what? She tends to involve herself too much. She has assisted in ruining other relationships that I've had. No, Gabriel, she has not ruined those relationships. You ruined those relationships, and this is why. You ruined it because you're two-faced. You go to your girlfriends and tell them things about your sister. Then you go to your sister and tell them things about your girlfriend. And it creates this complicated dynamic, and which you probably derive off of. Like, it's very messy of you. It's very messy to go to your sister and say to her, oh, you know what? Isabel is controlling. She is jealous and she won't sign the prenup. Why would you tell your sister all of that? Only for Isabel to be like, I have no problem signing a prenup. Now your sister is looking for something else to find and have an issue with. Well, he's told me that you're controlling, you're dissing your dad. And guess what, Monica? He's told Isabel a lot of things about you as well. He tells Isabel that you're negative and you overstep your boundaries and you involve yourself in his relationships and you've ruined his relationships. He tells you all you do is feed off of negativity. Okay? So we're there. And I'm glad that one thing that I love that Isabel did was she recognized immediately that, you know what, this has really nothing to do with me. This is more of a sibling matter. This is a sibling matter where they got their own issues, and those issues have taken place before me. So I'm going to back away from this. So she turns and she's like, you know what, Monica? I'm glad that your mom, and your boyfriend are here. I love that you guys are here. I can't wait to, welcome you to my family. Just very warm with her. See, she changed the direction of it. So then in that way, Monica didn't know what to do. Monica didn't know, like, okay, if I continue to be mean with the girl, then I'm going to look some way. So what did Monica do? Cry. That's all she did was cry. Oh, he's my best friend and I love him and this and that. Okay, we get that. We get that. But he doesn't feel the same way about you. And y'all have a lot to talk about. And that will continue on into the next episode. Let's move on to Debbie and Osama. Guys, we left off where Osama was bold enough to tell Debbie that, listen, you ought to bring me to the U.S. or we end all of this right now. Osama, let me tell you something. And I don't even much like to go here, right? I really don't like to do this, but it needs to be said. Osama, you are not good looking enough to be so demanding. I don't give a dang on that Debbie is a senior citizen. Even as a senior citizen, she can do better than you. You and your wonky eyes and your god awful teeth and your terrible, terrible personality and your lies and your bad character, she can do way better than you if she wanted to bring somebody to the U.S. just on some companionship in the time being while they get their green card. She can do better than. Better than. In not just in the world, in Morocco, in your village, I'm sure there are better men than you. Okay, you had the balls to tell her that you want her to bring you to the U.S. She takes care of you while you get your poetry and art business off the ground. Osama, have you heard yourself? Osama, have you seen your art? They're both terrible. Osama. Osama, do you not have access to the internet out there? I know that you don't like human beings. You've told us that. You are more so of a quiet person. We get that. Okay, fine. But you don't have access to the internet to know exactly the type of poems that are getting notoriety or the type of art that is getting notoriety. Osama, you paint like a third grader who has just picked up the simple paintbrush that comes in the school package, okay, in the classroom package. That is what you paint like, okay? And you think that you're going to make money off of it. Osama, please. Please. That is the reality that you needed. Okay? So Debbie is just like, listen, like, you are horrible. You are scum. I can't believe you are treating me this way. And Osama, who lies, like in one area of an interview, he's saying that, you know what? Okay, I lied to her. Then another part of an interview, he's saying, you know what? You knew that we were to go to the U.S. No, Osama, you are a massive liar. You've been lying to this woman since she arrived. You've been lying, lying, and lying. You said at the beginning of this season that you didn't even want to marry her. Now you're talking about marriage to bring to the U.S.? Osama, even if she took you up on that offer, the embassy is not going to allow you in the U.S. once they see this episode. Just ask Michael and Angela. No matter how much that Michael has caved to Angela's needs and requests, the embassy still denied them. Okay? Because they recognize that you are trying to get in for papers. You don't love this woman. Who would love such a woman? And the same thing here. They're going to see this and they're going to look and go, you're not entering this country regardless of what Debbie says. Okay? You are foolish to admit such nonsense. Who do you think you are? So when she is telling you that you are scum, he's like, yeah, I'm an MF, I'm an a-hole, I'm this, I'm that, and so what? Do something about it. And what you want? You happy now? I said it. Now what's up? And then proceeds to call her a cab, send her to her hotel. Let me tell you something, Debbie. If you were not on this TV show, he probably would have left you out there in the woods. Because that's the type of man that Osama gives me. Okay? And that's why every time he lies, his eye goes further apart and goes in a whole different direction every single time. God forgive me for that that saying, but I'm just saying, like, that is such an awful person inside and out. We move on. Let's get to Danielle and Johan. Okay? Danielle has finally convinced Johan to meet her so-called friend. All right? They go to meet the friend. Johan sees the guy and is just like sizing him up. Like, who is this? Look at what he's wearing. You know what? He doesn't even size him up mentally. You know, like, it's when even a woman, you know, you see pictures of the ex-girlfriend for whoever that you're with, and, you know, you size up mentally like, oh, you know, like, yeah, she ain't that cute, or, you know, maybe, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Like, it's human nature. But Johan took it a step further and said, no, I'm actually going to size you up. Come and stand next to me. Let's see who's taller. What size shoe do you wear? Okay? How big is your penis? You have a big penis? How big is it? Like, dude, are you trying to smash this man? Super awkward, super childish, super embarrassing. Would you still sleep with Danielle? Why not? Why wouldn't you sleep with her? What? What? Who asks another grown man how big the penis is that you're not trying to lay down with? Just because it doesn't, Johan, let me say this to you. It doesn't matter how big the penis is. Okay? He still had your wife. That man's penis could have been the size. Why do I keep saying penis? But okay, that man's, you know, schlong could have been the size of a thimble, and it would not matter. Okay, it would not matter. He still had your wife. I need you to get that. All right. So the guy's like, listen, like, do you even trust Danielle? He's like, yeah, I trust her, but she does things. Now you oversharing. Now you letting this man in on the cracks in your foundation. So how are you intimidated and jealous of this man, right? Where you are unsure of the motives behind things, but yet you go and you share what's going on in your relationship? Johan, are you crazy? And Danielle, let me tell you something. I don't care what kind of tears you cry. I feel no sympathy. You talked about that he's humiliating you. Danielle, you brought that man there because you wanted a, you know, a eggplant slinging contest in order to boost your own esteem. You wanted him to have some sense of jealousy. You just didn't know how far he was going to take it. It backfired. It went even lower than what you were expecting. And now you're humiliated. And oh, he goes out of his way to humiliate me. And you go out of your way to put him in uncompromising positions. You go out of your way to belittle him. He's like, listen, since you like to go low, I'm going to go lower. That's it. You want to go low, say less. We'll go to hell together. Okay? That is literally what Johan showed. Right? Very embarrassing moment. But we move on. Let's get to the meat and the potato. Let's get to Jen and Rishi. Guys, Jen and Rishi. Okay. We left off where Jen's useless girlfriends have convinced her that, hey, we should be the one to go and tell Rishi's parents that you two are engaged. What troublemaking, messy, just lame, low down thing is this, right? But Jen agrees to it. Jen and her Joker smile agrees to it. Okay, so they go down to Rishi's parents' home, and Rishi's mother is serving tea, not even knowing that, girl, the tea that's about to be spilled. Oh my goodness. So they immediately go into asking questions. Hey, tell us about this, tell us about that. You know, and of course they brought their own interpreter. The interpreter, who is this gorgeous young girl who actually looks along the lines of what Rishi's mother would want for him, right? Like even Rishi was peeping her and was like, you know, she kinda cute. All right, you know. But the interpreter is not there for you because she already realized that this is a circle that she's walking into. She starts interpreting, telling Jen the answers that the mother is saying and so forth. Then it's when the friend just goes ahead and spills the beans. Listen, let me tell you something. This man is engaged to our friend. Yes, that's right. Your son is engaged to our friend. Leaving not just the mother and the uncle stunned, but leaving Rishi stunned because he's looking like, this is not what I thought you were coming here to do. This is totally off guard, and there's nothing I can do to get myself out of it. what in the world? Okay, so now the mom is like, nervous laugh and a nervous grin, and it's just like, I mean, that's fine. I mean, if he likes it, I love it. Sure, that's great. Then she goes over to the room and says, listen, I can't even really express what I want to express because, it puts me in a compromising predicament. But guess what? I'm going to talk to my son. So we realize that mama is non-confrontational, just like Rishi. That's where Rishi gets his non-confrontational from. That's where Rishi gets the let me tell you what you want to hear, even though I know that these things can't be done. Rishi, you told Jen that you will be willing to move separately, just the two of you, to Mumbai. I hope that I'm saying it correctly, knowing good and well that your families depend on you significantly to the point to where the woman that they are looking for you to marry has to be able to come in and take over all of the responsibilities that the mother has. And that's probably why you are having a hard time with even agreeing to find a wife. It's because who wants to take on such responsibilities in this day and age? Now, mind you, different culture, different tradition, but that is a lot to put on one person to be responsible for not just the well-being of your wife and your family, but also the mother, the uncle, the sister, and so forth. Like, that's a lot on one person. And so you think that Jen is going to walk into that, and Jen is like, nah, we moving. I know that you want him to stay here. I know that he is the sole provider and the glue for this family. But yeah, prepare to have the walls broken because we moving. Like, if I marry him, we moving. And that's on that. Okay, mom is like, well, let me go and talk to my son. They go to speak to the son or whatnot. Now, before they go to speak to the son, Reach goes and gives the friend a hug, like, oh, yeah, thank you. You just relieved me. Knowing good and well, he wants to, like, throw her down a river. Because it was like, what? But, he couldn't express that because then expressing that would then put a whole new problem his way. So they go on their way. He goes back to speak with the mom and the uncle. The mom and the uncle was like, listen, you just threw this on us. And they were like, we got to think about this. Oh, but wait. Reach goes and tells them how old Jen is. And they're like, what? She's, 15 years your senior? Absolutely not. We don't even want you to speak with the other family members on it. It's a no. We're not agreeing to that. We're not agreeing to that. Oh, this is what's done. 15 years, a lot of people are in relationships like that. Mama said, not in this country, not in India. Okay? Not in India. It's a no. It's a no, babe. Okay? And don't let me have to call on the ancestors of Submit's mom. Okay? Because I will. I sure will call on the ancestors of Submit's mom to come and deal with you. Because let me tell you something. Not in this country where you bring in a woman 15 years your senior who doesn't speak a lick of the language, who doesn't even want to live in this household and take over the responsibilities. What about this matter tells me yes? Absolutely not. Reach goes to the other room, act like he's going to cry, even though not one tear drops from his eye. And that is how we end this episode, guys. We end this episode, guys, with Reach not shedding a tear, but making a lot of noises. Let me tell you something. See, Reach, that's why you can never make it in any type of Bollywood film. We know you tried in the past. We know you tried. And you couldn't because you couldn't bring down one tear from your eye. Shame on you. Okay? Shame on you. All right. But I want to hear everyone's thoughts. What are your thoughts on this episode? Did you guys see a teardrop from Rishi's eyes? Do you think that the friends, of course we know the friends have overstepped. They always overstep. Was Johan completely out of line? But regardless, we don't feel bad for Danielle, or do we actually feel bad for Danielle this episode? I'm telling you now, I do not. Okay, not one bit. Okay, but like, comment, and subscribe. I will talk to you guys later. I want to hear more from you. Bye.